There's a saying in financial planning circles, you can work for your money or you can make your money work for you. Sound advice, but how do you make your money work for you and when do you learn how to do that? You can never start too early, according to our next guest from Secure Futures and one of their longtime partners, U.S. Bank. Secure Futures is a nonprofit organization that helps empower young people to make strong financial decisions by providing the financial literacy programs they need. It's advice that not only helps students, but their families as well. We are pleased to be here at U.S. Bank with Brenda Campbell, who is President and CEO of Secure Futures, and also with Nina Johnson. She is the Senior Vice President, Wisconsin Branch Banking Market Leader, and she is also a member of the Secure Future Advisory Board. Thanks so much for letting us be here, Nina.
Thank you.
One of the things that we do know is that young people just don't have the financial information that they need to have. It can get them into trouble a little bit later in life. And Wisconsin does not have a requirement for young people to take any kind of financial literacy course. Is that part of the reason that Secure Futures got started, to fill that gap?
Absolutely, that's it. You nailed it, because we started in 2006, and at that time there were thousands of students across the state of Wisconsin graduating without a clue how to manage money. And that was when our founder, Lloyd Levine, stepped in and said, you know, we need to change that. We need to do something to bring that financial education to students. And that was really the start. He at that time was working as a mortgage broker, and he was frustrated with having to turn family after family away because they didn't have the credit score or the savings to really be able to afford a home.
At what age does Secure Futures begin to work with young people to give them that knowledge?
Yeah, we think that there is a sweet spot in financial education, and that's 16 to 18 years old, because you're catching them before they've made mistakes, but while everything we teach is relevant to them. And relevancy is very critical in financial education. So if you can imagine, a 16-year-old might be in their very first job earning money for the first time. If they don't yet have a bank account, they're thinking about it. Credit cards are right around the corner. So we're catching them when everything is relevant to them and they know that they want this information.
You know, you've also been very involved almost from the beginning with Secure Futures. What kind of support is offered? Is it one-on-one, group settings, a little bit of both?
It's a little bit of both, and you know, it's been an honor to watch the growth of Secure Futures going back 17 years. It's just been a great moment in time to say, okay, this organization was able to come up with something that was timely for our kids right before they graduated from high school. But it's definitely one experience that could be happening in a group setting and or individual. You know, one of the things that I believe is one of the best benefits of Secure Futures is the connection between the student and the leaders of Fortune 500 companies that are going in to not only teach financial education, but also mentor to prepare them for their future after they graduate from high school. And I think that's one of the biggest benefits that I don't know if it was part of the plan initially, but it turned out to be a winning solution at the end of the experience once it was launched and students came back to us and said, you know what, this really mattered because this person spent quality time helping me to prepare for my future.
So what kind of experiences do young people have? What are they learning, whether it's in a group setting or one-on-one? What information are they taking away?
Yes, Secure Futures offers 3 different programs for students. So our first program, called Money Sense, is the one we launched in 2006. It is foundational financial education, most often delivered by a business community volunteer in a high school classroom. Nina was actually one of our very first volunteers 17 years ago when she was just 20 years old. And typically it's that volunteer going into the classroom 6 times, and they're teaching kids about budgeting, saving, how banking works, and how credit works. Then our Money Coach program, which was launched about 10 years ago, is very much focused on students who are coming from historically marginalized and under-resourced neighborhoods. And that program is a combination of small group and one-on-one mentoring. that really helps take those basic concepts and help the student, by personalizing a plan, help the student put that into action. So they will begin to develop habits about, how they spend money, banking, how they plan to use credit in the future. And that's very much a hands-on program. And then our third program, called Money Path, was launched just a few years ago. And Money Path is unique in that it is a web-based application that connects the dots between a student's post-high school plan, whether that's going directly in the workforce, college, military, or skilled trades, and their financial future. And it gives them an opportunity to really get a glimpse of what the future looks like and put the dollars and cents to it. So very much a broad program where we are trying to serve students not just in Wisconsin, but even beyond.
What are some of the practical things that students learn in these classes?
Yeah, well, I mentioned budgeting and saving, understanding how banking works. It really is getting to those basic financial foundational
So
concepts.
they, for example, they're putting together a budget. They're putting together a plan to save.
Yes, yes. And in Money Coach, we're working with students who, they're very likely opening up the first bank account ever, and they might even be the first in their family to be opening a bank account. So it's very hands-on there. They have an opportunity to earn a scholarship in the program, and that scholarship will be direct deposit into their account. So that the mentor that's working with them is, looking at their bank account and saying, let's look at what you spent in the last week and let's talk about those decisions. So it's very much helping them to become smarter spenders, better savers, and, hopefully investors later on.
Right, and so one of the things that we know, unfortunately, we hear about it, we read about it all the time, is the whole issue around student financial debt for young people when they're in college because they haven't made those good decisions. What are some ways in which Secure Futures gets to that very key to specific point that can really cripple young people's financial futures?
Yes, that's where Money Path is such a powerful tool for students, because they'll actually go in the app and they'll plug in the career that they have in mind. If it requires college, they're going to plug in the college that they have in mind, and the app will pull from data sources. It'll show them what the starting salary is of that career. It'll show them what the cost of that specific college is, and then it'll actually calculate for them based on what they've saved or what they'll qualify for in financial aid or scholarships. It'll show them what their monthly payment will look like when they graduate. Then they go in and actually do a budget as if they're on the other side of those decisions. So we're giving them an opportunity to make an informed decision about where they're going to go, what career they're going to go into. And something that I think is so powerful about this is we found a data source that will pull the starting salary of that career. And oftentimes when students are doing career exploration, those tools will pull a median salary. Well, the student is making a decision about how much debt they're about to take on based on a salary they won't see until they're 40 years old. So having that starting salary is so key, and being able to put that into a budget where it's like, here's your monthly payment for your student loan. Now let's talk about housing and food and entertainment. And they can see, like, okay, this looks like a reasonable plan for me. Or they could say, wait a second, the numbers aren't adding up, and how am I supposed to live? Well, go back and rethink your plan. Maybe a less expensive college is a better choice for you. Maybe you should be working while you're in college. Maybe you should be applying for every scholarship you can right now, because now you can see the impact that makes on your future. Such a powerful tool to really give students that opportunity to get a glimpse of their future.
It seems that, Nina, one of the things that that Secure Futures does with this programming is demystify money. It's not something that just shows up at your bank account every 2 weeks. It's not something you can just use your debit card to pull money out for. It demystifies money and maybe even puts some of the power back into the hands of young people.
I completely agree with that. I think back to even our first program that Brenda shared, and we were just going to audit a class, which means that we were sitting on the sidelines watching students at a local high school experience the educational opportunity of what compound interest means to those of us who enjoy compound interest. And so in that class, one of the students just got up in the middle of class as soon as the light bulb went off, which happens all the time, and he comes over to us and he says, okay, I have a summer job and I have money. How do I invest this money like today? Like, he didn't even want to hear the rest of the curriculum, because as soon as he understood the impact that compound interest had on his budget, he thought, gee, I need to get in front of this right away at 16. So just knowing that light bulb goes off in every classroom that's experienced the Secure Futures curriculum, and our students are responding not only with the current level of understanding that's being taught in the schools, but then post-curriculum experience with longitudinal studies, which Brenda could easily share. I mean, knowing that our students are walking away with that level of empowerment is indeed a game changer for our kids. So it is a powerful moment for them, and our goal is to continue to expand it throughout the state of Wisconsin.
But one of the things people always say is that you work hard for your money, so you should make sure that your money works hard for you. And that's something that Secure Futures is doing. So Nina and Brenda, thank you so much for being with us, for sharing this information and helping to empower the next generation of young people so their money works hard for them.
Thank you.
Secure Futures offers these programs free of charge for students, and for a small fee, families can also access the Money Path program to chart their financial futures. Learn more at securefutures.org. When we return, we'll visit with an organization that is saving lives with their research while providing jobs and being a valuable resource to the community. Versity is next.